Hello and welcome back to Afterglow episode 110. In this episode we are covering the original Pac-Man. We'll be touching on the arcade. I'll probably be focusing a little more on the 2600 version than most people do, since that's the version I actually grew up with. And then we'll probably be hopping to maybe a few ports before we cover the arcade version one more time. But I did spend quite a lot of time with this game, and it's shocking, 109 episodes, and I have not covered it yet. Kind of surprising, but we're going to have a special shout out here to a new member in the Grimglow Discord. I have to look him up real quick. It is Electric Maestro. He actually pulled up a list of all the franchises that have never gotten an Afterglow episode. Well, this one was actually kind of already in the planner, so I figured we'd go ahead and push this one out. We've got another one in that list that'll be coming out after this one that will have a special guest on it. And we're going to get into that episode after something a little different. Pac-Man doesn't have a lot of music. And you guys know I love putting in music as the intro and outro before the main chat that I do. So I was trying to figure out what to do, and then it hit me. Pac-Man was huge in the early 80s. And it had IPs all over the place. So we're going to book into the conversation with a bunch of Pac-Man commercials. The first batch will be the Atari Pac-Man games, which I think I got like 3 minutes worth of commercials for. And then the other one is going to go a bit longer than normal. It's going to be all of the merchandise that Pac-Man had back in the day, which is almost 10 minutes worth of retro commercials to listen to. So this is going to be an interesting difference, to be sure, because I usually don't go that long. I usually don't play more than 1 or 2 commercials, but I wanted to try something different here since Pac-Man doesn't have a lot of music, and that's what we're going to go with. So let's check out those Atari commercials first.
As soon as I eat that power block, you guys are finished!
Drop Atari Pac-Man into your Atari video computer system and you're playing the hottest game since Space Invaders, Atari Pac-Man.
I got Pac-Man fever. It's driving me crazy. I said Pac-Man fever. I'm going out of my
Hate to eat and run!
Pac-Man by Atari.
First the Pac-Man eats through a maze of dots. Then the Pac-Man heads for the corner spots. Then he eats his fill of a power pill. And then all those ghosts turn blue, boo! And Pac-Man eats them all too.
Only Atari makes the Pac-Man home video game, and you can only play it on an Atari video game system.
Have you played Atari today?
Man eats through a maze of dots. Then the Pac-Man heads for the corner spots. Then he eats his fill of a power pill. And then all those ghosts turn blue, boo! And Pac-Man eats them all too.
Have you played Pac-Man? It's the new video computer game everyone's talking about. And naturally, it's from Atari.
Have you played Atari today?
Now at JCPenney, new from Atari, Pac-Man, heading your way with a special offer, only from JCPenney. Purchase a Pac-Man video game cartridge and another Atari cartridge, or Pac-Man and an Atari video computer system, and get a free Pac-Man t-shirt. Pac-Man at JCPenney. If it's not the fastest moving fun you've ever had, we'll eat our words.
Now from Atari, a great new video game, Pac-Man. To stay alive, Pac-Man must eat power pills, vitamins, and growth.
I'm putting supper on now.
But beware, the ghosts fight back.
You've got 2 minutes.
Pac-Man's appetite is insatiable. To keep ahead of the game depends on your skill at feeding him.
Supper is served.
Pac-Man, the all-consuming video game, only from Atari.
And welcome back. So, my first experience with Pac-Man was actually in a small laundromat back in Winslow, Indiana. I don't even think that laundromat's there anymore. But, they had one arcade machine in there, and it was Pac-Man. And I remember it being fairly beat up because This would have been maybe, I want to say 8 years after the game released, but they had one in there, and I played it, and I kind of liked it. I remember liking it as my, I want to say I might have been 4 or 5 at the time, real young, but I really did enjoy it quite a bit. If you haven't played Pac-Man, for one, that's shocking, but for two, it is a single screen game. There's a maze on screen, but you can see all of it, and you play as Pac-Man, which is a little yellow dude, has a giant mouth and one eye, and you've got 4 ghosts that are roaming this maze, and then this maze are little pellets that you have to eat. If you eat all the pellets, you clear the maze. The corners of the screen are larger pellets. These are called power pellets. You eat them, and the ghosts all turn blue, and that means you can eat the ghosts instead of them eating you. Finally, there are power-ups. Well, not power-ups, I'm sorry. They don't really power you up other than the power pellet. But there's fruit that will spawn on the map. And eating this fruit will increase your score. And the more score you can get, you can earn a few extra lives. So those come in very, very handy. Because this game, it sounds simple, but it can get pretty frantic fairly quickly. But I think I mentioned earlier, the actual arcade machine did come out in 80. I was actually born in 82, so I saw this game pretty late. And that was the only time I remember seeing it until I had gotten my Atari 2600 bundle given to me from my uncle. And in all those games was a copy of Pac-Man for the 2600. So this is going to be a little controversial here. Pac-Man for the 2600 is a horrible, horrible port. There's only 3 ghosts instead of 4. They're not different colors. They're all the same. Like, the colors are all wrong. Your Pac-Man dude is not shaped right at all. But, all that being said, I found a lot of enjoyment as a kid in Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. And like I said, everything about the game is wrong. If I remember right, it was made up very, very quickly, like in a matter of a few weeks. And the guy that made the game sent it to Atari as a prototype. Like, hey, this is what I can do with just the time you gave me. If you give me more time, we can do something really, really cool. And Atari's like, no, this is good enough, and they shipped it. And they shipped it in huge numbers, too, which is a huge shame because, man, this game deserved better. The port of Miss Pac-Man on the Atari 2600, which I didn't have in my collection, unfortunately, but it was a lot closer to the actual Ms. Pac. Ms. Pac came out in 82. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It plays very similarly to the original Pac-Man. It does have the inclusion of cutscenes, and the maps, I believe, are a little different, but very, very similar games. Although there are some rights issues, because I think Miss Pac-Man started out as like a ROM hack, and then the company bought it, and now there's a bunch of rights issues. I don't know all the details around it, but it's a very interesting rabbit hole to go into. But I spent a lot of time on Pac-Man on the 2600. I actually remember I was at my grandmother's place, had the Atari with me, and I think I spent all day just on Pac-Man on the 2600, just trying to boost my score up. And I had a blast doing it. It's a good game, but it's not a good port, if that makes any sense. You can find enjoyment in the game, but it has Pac-Man on the box, but it's hard to call it Pac-Man. Fortunately, there were better ports that came out later. I didn't have, I might have ran a time or two, the NES port, which was a fantastic port of the game. It was very, very well done. It was clean. It was very close to the original. As I got older, though, I started collecting games, but my first version of Pac-Man I collected, surprisingly, was not for a console. It was a small, handheld, Coleco-made miniature arcade cabinet. Very, very small, and they had a Pac-Man one, and they had this, like, unique backlighting on it. It gave it color, and it would just light behind the panel of where your character was and the items on screen. Really, really cool, really, really fun, and honestly, it probably did more justice to Pac-Man than that Atari version did. but I had a blast with it. I eventually got a Pac-Man arcade 1-up machine. And that was a blast. It had Pac-Man and then a Pac-Man Plus on it, if I recall correctly. I ended up selling all my 1-ups, like I want to say 2 or 3 years back, because I had relocated and had to make room, because I had like 12 of those machines. But had a big blast with that thing. Of course, now I just emulate it using MAME. I do have an X-Arcade stick, so I still have kind of that arcade feel to it. But yeah, I mean, I still go back to Pac-Man to this day, and I can't stress enough about how huge Pac-Man was in the 80s. Like, its merchandise was everywhere. It still is today, not as huge as what it was, but there's still a ton of Pac-Man merchandise out there that you can go get. Like, back then, you could go get, like, Pac-Man pasta in the grocery store. It's not at this point, but if you have a back-to-school time going on, it's not surprising to see like a Pac-Man branded backpack or something. Like, to this day, Pac-Man is still a huge IP that has all kinds of merchandise. That's really a sign that the game has definitely matched the test of time. Like, it's still alive and strong to this day. Space Invaders is probably the only other game I can think of that's old, that still has a really good hard following, and even then I'd say that Pac-Man got bigger than Space Invaders. I don't know if it was bigger back then, because of course I wasn't around at that time, but I remember seeing a lot more Pac-Man than I do Space Invaders, but that could just be me. I'm not 100% sure, because I know Space Invaders was huge as well. Like I said in my Space Invaders episode, the arcade machines at that point, they were so busy that the machines were airing because of the amount of money in them. They would have to go and empty the money because the coin things wouldn't work because they were too full. I don't know if that ever happened with Pac-Man or not, but I do know that Pac-Man had a lot more on the merchandising side of things that I saw, so I think it might have been the bigger game. But it's still worth going back and playing today, for sure. I think I've got another version of Pac-Man on, a small, little credit card size My Arcade thing. And I enjoy playing it every once in a while, even. Pac-Man's just an amazing game that whenever you go back to, you can just sink your teeth into it. It doesn't matter how old it is. It doesn't matter what the graphics are. It's just fun to play. It's just like Tetris, in a way. Tetris is one of those games. It's just no matter what, the gameplay mechanics make that game timeless. And I think Pac-Man probably falls under that same thing. So now, after I'm done wrapping up my memories of Pac-Man and my thoughts on it, we're going to have an extended commercial collage before I run the outro for the show. That's right, we've got 10 minutes of Pac-Man merch to listen to. And this is just so nostalgic to listen to, in my opinion. I love, hearing all this stuff that came out back then. And it's all over eBay. Some of it's dirt cheap. Some of it's actually more expensive than what it was whenever it originally released, which is kind of surprising, but you know how collectibles are. So let's check out all this stuff that Pac-Man spawned.
Play to win, you never lose. When 7-Up's the one we choose. It's a natural kind of taste. Nothing else comes near. 7-Up cools your thirst. 7-Up, the difference is clear.
Presenting Roy Rogers' new Ms. Pac-Man matching ticket game.
Win a real Ms. Pac-Man arcade game.
The kind they don't sell in the stores.
Win hundreds of cash prizes. $5,000.
Millions of instant free food prizes, like free Coca-Cola, free bacon cheeseburgers. Get your Ms. Pac-Man game sheet with rules at participating Roy Rogers.
Win a real Ms. Pac-Man arcade game. $5,000 cash.
Play Roy Rogers' new Ms. Pac-Man game today.
Let's go to Roy Rogers and I'll show you how to play.
Look who's eating his way through Arby's. Pac-Man! Arby's new Pac-Man glass is so popular, everything at Arby's is being gobbled up. There goes a roast beef deluxe. there goes a sub. Whoops, there goes our logo. Come to Arby's today for your fabulous Pac-Man glass. But you better hurry, that Pac-Man is insatiable. There's no stopping him. Get your official Pac-Man glass today, only at Arby's.
In the children's vitamin game, this is today's leader. But for moms who want to change the rules to no sugar and no additives, this is a better choice. New Pac-Man Children's Chewable Multivitamins. For no sugar, Pac-Man's better. Flintstones is over 70% sugar. For no additives, Pac-Man is better. So for complete nutrition of 10 essential vitamins plus iron without sugar or additives.
Goodbye, Fred. Hello, Pac-Man.
A better choice.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Introducing Pac-Man, a new board game from MB Games. You control your Pac-Man as it gobbles up marbles and piles up the points. But watch out for the ghosts. You can move it in or out of the maze, or back in as long as you.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
And the one who gobbles up most wins. And look out for Frogger, Donkey Kong, Zaxxon, Berserk, and Defender. And of course, Pac-Man from MB Games.
MB präsentiert Pac-Man.
Schmatz, Schmatz, Schmatz. Das ist Pac-Man, das tolle Brettspiel von MB. Pac-Man frisst Kugeln und sammelt Punkte. Huhu, und wenn die Gespenster kommen, geht's zurück.
Mist.
Der Pac-Man, der die meisten Kugeln schafft, gewinnt.
Pac-Man von MB.
Now, Pac-Man isn't just a game you play, it's a crispy corn cereal that's coming your way. New Pac-Man. There are marshmallow bits you'll find inside, Inky and Blinky and Pinky.
I'm Clyde. I'm Pac-Man. Chum Chum's delicious.
New Pac-Man. There are crispy corn puffs so good to eat. Just think what a champ of a chomper you'll be.
Chum Chum's delicious.
New Pac-Man, the cereal, a delicious part of this nutritious breakfast.
Chum Chum's delicious.
Morning, kids. It's a Pac-Man day with my crispy corn cereal coming your way.
It's Pac-Man.
With marshmallows.
Delicious. I'm Inky.
I'm Blinky.
I'm Pinky.
I'm Clyde. With the marshmallows
you'll find inside. There goes a Pac Puff. And Inky, too.
He's marshmallow. You can chomp him, too.
It's Pac-Man.
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
It's Pac-Man. With marshmallows. Delicious. Solar Pac-Man cereal! Then let's go ghost chomping!
Ghost chompers!
So tired! Who's gonna help us now?
Me, Super Pac-Man! Now this crispy corn cereal has added new Super Pac-Man marshmallows like me, the biggest ghost chomper of all!
Woo-hoo!
Ghost chompers!
I'm a ghost chomper too!
It's Pac-Man!
A chomping good part of a nutritious breakfast with me!
And me, Super Pac-Man!
You can do it! You can do it! You can do the Pac-Man cereal! You can do the Pac-Man with Pac-Man marshmallows. You can open wide, gobble up the ghosts and hide them inside. Marshmallow orange, red, pink, and blue. Chomp up good or they might kill you. You can do it! You can do the Pac-Man!
Packed with marshmallows and corn puffs, Pac-Man cereal's part of a good breakfast.
You can do it! You can do the Pac-Man!
And now, free with free fruit from Pac-Man cereal, you can get the Construction Company sampler set with the blocks that lock to build a plane or a robot or well, it's free from Pac-Man cereal.
You can do the Pac-Man. You can do it. You can do the Pac-Man. Pac-Man cereal. With Pac-Man marshmallows, you can open wide. Gobble up the ghosts, they're hiding inside. Marshmallow orange, pink, blue, and red.
And this marshmallow got a bow on her head.
Ow! You can do it. You can do the Pac-Man.
Packed with marshmallows and corn puffs, Pac-Man cereal's part of this good breakfast.
You can do the Pac-Man.
Oh, Pac-Man, I'm beat.
And I'm hungry.
Thank goodness for Pac-Man pasta from Chef Boyardee.
Pac-Man pasta?
Little spaghettis shaped like us.
Delicious.
And because Chef Boyardee's packed with goodness, it's great for when we have to eat and run.
Pac-Man pasta from Chef Boyardee. With meatballs, without meatballs, or chicken flavor.
Thank goodness for Pac-Man pasta. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
Zeroni!
You can Taste the fun of make-believe with Chef Boyardee.
Animal shape. Pac-Man.
You can go anywhere you want to be with Chef Boyardee.
Pac-Man. Tastes great. Yeah, and good for us. Tomorrow, ABCs and 1, 2, 3.
Thank goodness
For the fun of
Chef Boyardee.
You've never seen a Six Flags like this before. You never had a fast fall like this before. You never had a place to play like this before. The playboard's every kid's dream. You never had a way to ride than this before. The wettest Thunder River's ever been. You've never seen a Six Flags like the one we've dreamed of now. Brave the 10-story free falls. Play in the new Pac-Man Playfort. There's a wetter Thunder River, new shows, and more.
So come on out to Six Flags. Come and see what we dreamed of now.
Mountain Children's World that could fill your fondest dreams, where vegetables are lollipops and bubbles seem like jelly beans. Imagine a Six Flags world where cars are aeroplanes and you can walk upon the moon. Search for Porridge Gold with Pac-Man, ride with a shirt-tails raccoon. A special place where kids can see through magic eyes, because Magic Mountain's new children's world is exactly children's size.
It's Martin Paint's 72nd birthday sale days with fantastic savings on wall coverings. Give your child's room a delightful new look. Save $3 a single roll on Pac-Man designed pre-pasted washable vinyl wall covering. Now $7.95 a single roll. Keep warm safely and efficiently with famous name well-built 9-fin oil-filled electric radiators. Regularly $99.99, now $79 each.
Martin's Home Decorating Center. It ain't just paint.
So yeah, as you can tell, Pac-Man was totally everywhere in the 80s, including in a whole bunch of cereal, but many other places as well. But that'll close out my memories on Pac-Man. We're going to open our closer with... Yeah, that makes sense. Open the closer? Sure. But we're going to open up with, we have 2 new patrons. And like I said, they get a shout out at the end of every new video. We're going to start with OCD in every RPG, and I believe that is Slage, and then finally we have Toby drinks Big Red Soda, and I'm pretty sure that's Grim. But I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being the first 2 patrons to join Afterglow. Y'all have no clue how much I appreciate it. I know it's... like, you know, not a whole lot, and I try to make sure it's not a whole lot, because there's only like a couple episodes a month, but I just appreciate so much that you guys are just taking time to listen, and then you even took more time out to check out the Patreon, so that's a huge thing to me, and I just want to really express how much I appreciate you guys. So for all of you guys listening out there now, if you check out the show notes, you're going to find a link tree. And that one link contains everything Afterglow, along with Friends of Afterglow. I kind of make it like a one-stop shop. First, you got the Friends of the Show with Grim Glow Low Tech Reviews, which is the other show that myself and Grim do. Bad Secret Media, and under the Bad Secret Media umbrella, includes Secret Levels as well as Nocturnal Mysteries. Retro Gaming Roundup, the Retro Hangover Podcast, the Lost and Gone Podcast, the Main Quest Podcast, the Reviews Brothers YouTube channel, and the Superpod Network, which hosts many other gaming podcasts for you guys to listen to. That takes care of all of our friends, but there's also links to everything Afterglow. There's a link to Spotify if you want to listen there, if you don't already. There is the Discord link if you'd like to join the Discord and chat with all of us over there. There's, of course, the Patreon link where you can sub for $1 a month, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode, and there's a special Discord channel if y'all want to post in there. There's also a link to listen to the podcast over on Apple Podcasts. There's a merch store if for some reason you guys want to grab like an Afterglow t-shirt or a magnet or a sticker or something. The merch store is there. And then there is finally the YouTube link if you guys would rather listen to the show on YouTube. As always, 2 people do get a special shout out. One is TobyVonDoom. Yeah, that big red drinker. we give him a shout out because he's the guy that did the show logo. I originally had like an AI made logo that I had tweaked as much as I could, but Toby made a new one and he knocked it out of the park, and we'll definitely be using that one until the day I die. And then Grim, who used, he came up with the music for the intro and the outro of the show. Huge thanks to him. Like I said before then, I was using a royalty-free track, which I really did like, but for the show to grow, I needed something more original, and Grim hugely helped and knocked it out of the ballpark, I think. So, again, thank you guys. Thanks to the new patrons. Thank you guys who's helped with the show. Thank you anyone who's ever come on to kind of talk about stuff with me. I appreciate all of you so much, and I appreciate each and every listener out there. You guys are all awesome for taking time out of your day just to listen to me ramble about these old games. So, speaking of talking about old games and old stuff, there are some friends of the show that I mentioned earlier, and I run ads for them at the end of every show. That way, if you guys are looking for something new to listen to, I want them to tell you about their show. That way, you can kind of get a feel for their personality and what they do, and then you can go check them out. Again, using either the link tree down below or just by looking them up online. And they are going to play right now.
Afterglow listeners, it's me, Keith Gasper, coming at you from the #1 retro gaming podcast, the Main Quest Podcast. Come hang out as a guest and I play and discuss a game from the backlog of my childhood. We're talking about our history and the history of the game, and if it's worth checking out today. We're talking about games from the NES, the Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx, Game Boy, and much more. And that's just on the main feed. If you enjoy what you're hearing on Afterglow, you're going to enjoy the Main Quest, and I'm happy to have you. Find the Main Quest on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Spotify, and wherever great podcasts are downloaded.
Hello and welcome to the Reviews Brothers. It's me, Martin, and you can join me on YouTube where I have hundreds of videos covering a huge range of video game topics. I've got top 10s, hidden gems, console-focused A to Zs, as well as dedicated videos to topics like Doom mods, 3D platform games, ninja games, pirate games, and more. I cover all systems from Commodore 64 right up to modern consoles. Nothing gaming is off the table. So be sure to search for the Reviews Brothers on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and TikTok for hundreds of retro and modern video game reviews.
For more than 15 years, Retro Gaming Roundup has been the centre of your retro gaming universe, with top 10s, interviews, game reviews, news, and much more from all over the globe. Be sure to tune in every month for a new dose of Retro Gaming Roundup. That's RetroGamingRoundup.com.
Hey, this is Toby, one half of the Secret Levels podcast. We're a podcast that goes over old retro games. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts. We even rage a little bit. And then we go and give it a nice 1 to 10 rating to let you know if it's still worth playing. We have over 200 reviews for games on the NES, the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and many other consoles. You can find us on all the major podcasting apps, such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and you can follow us on social media at Secret Levels Pod. Game over, folks.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one half of Super Pod Saga, a topical variety video game podcast fueled entirely by nostalgia and unleaded gasoline. Super Pod Saga, we discuss a different video game topic each and every week. We have new episodes every single Monday covering a different video game topic. More than anything, we want to entertain our listeners and make you feel like you're one of the boys, like you're hanging out at a campfire with some of your best zany, caffeine-powered buddies movies, and just talking about your favorite games and all that stuff, stop on down to Super Pod Saga. It's on every podcatcher there is. If it's not, let me know and we'll get on it. But again, Super Pod Saga, stop on by.